in Spurling, and I asked him to come out today because we go back a long ways, and I just wanted to get him out and have him to share some of his knowledge about the Lord and on his journey as a man of God. We grew up together as kids from this. I think we got together around the sixth grade, on up to. Oh wow, I think we graduated together, right? Yeah, we did.
Did you graduate?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
graduated.
yeah, you know. You know,
I graduated, sir. Yes, I did. And you can put this right here. We're
what
we're we're, you know,
does it,
we're novice at this, folks.
what is this thing? It's like
It screams. It springs for
a
you won't
spit
spit too much.
screen. Right?
Anyway, we go way back. We like I said, sixth grade on up. We've been friends on into adult life, and then Tony got. I think I was called in the ministry first, I believe. Then Tony got called in the ministry, and I just happened to go hear his first sermon many years ago, his second sermon, his third sermon, and then he talks to me on the phone and give me sermons in between.
You give me sermons.
How you think I give you sermons? But anyway, we're gonna be. We were just sitting here before y'all joined us, Houston. We were just thinking about what we would talk about, and I told the man of God, I was like, "Hey, let's just talk about anything we want to talk about. Anything that you want to share. Is there anything particularly you want to share with Houston, Texas, or from Forever Rhema?" There we go. Looking good. We got our producer running. We want to thank our producer because let me tell y'all, Houston, without our producer, this would not be possible.
Okay, well, that's true. And I said, this is my first time, I believe. No, 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 no. I called in. When we had the Brotherhood, was there a call in for that also?
We did, yeah.
We had a
did.
call
We did,
in.
yeah. Right, we had a call in.
And so that was the first time. And this is the second time. Okay, cool. I just want to say, Minister Lamont, I enjoyed my visit, my first time hearing you preach this morning.
Okay.
It was very enlightening, and it in the venue. The venue was interesting too. I mean, I didn't expect. Like I said, I was driving down the highway, and I didn't know what to expect, or how to prepare myself. But I said to you, I told you that as a minister, we're supposed to always be prepared. So, and if we're not prepared, God will put us in the right place, in the spirit to be prepared. So, I was just saying, hey, when I get to this place, I said, a lot of time I didn't know where the area was, so I said the address. You gave me the address, so I got on the highway, and it told me about 18 minutes to get here. So I, got on there, and I couldn't listen to nobody else. I couldn't call nobody else. I couldn't even turn my radio on because I had to know where I was going. So I'm listening to my phone give me directions. I didn't want to miss nothing. I kind of knew just a little bit about where I was going to be at. But then my mind was saying, okay, you told me to call in advance and make, kind of make a reservation for the seating. And I'm saying, okay, now is this place so huge, okay, that I'm just gonna get lost in the number? I'm just one of these thousands of people that's gonna show up to this place, and it's just gonna be standing room only. Therefore, you have to call in advance in order to, have a seat. So, or the other extreme, or the other way it could have gone is that this place is so small, intimate, and quaint, okay, that there would be limited seating anyway, and you'd want to call to make sure you have seating still. And when I saw that it was in a strip center, I said, okay, it's one of those small, intimate venues, and when I came in, hey, I was impressed. I was impressed at the setup of how it was, and then when I walked into the sanctuary, okay, because I had been to some other churches, what's the one, some other church over there off 290, and it was a venue of similar, but it took up a whole lot more space.
Right.
Okay, and then also there's one over there off 45 and Greens Road. Greenhouse International, I believe that's what it was, and they were big and huge too. But this was nice, quaint, and I got to see you up close and personal. Okay,
Right.
I didn't have to see you at the distance, like you didn't put me in the way in the back with the bathroom or something like that. Okay.
Well, and that was good. But what we did, Pastor Deborah and we had talked about I got a chance to preach here in the past, and I felt the spirit of the Lord hovering here in that sanctuary over there, and I said, I wanted the people to feel what I feel. Normally, they don't open the doors, you can't come. But it's because it's a YouTube broadcast or a Facebook Live broadcast. So I asked the pastor, and she said, yes, I want the people to feel what I feel. I'm quite sure you feel today. The closeness, the way the sanctuary is beautiful, you can really feel the spirit of the Lord. And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm glad you made it. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about you've been a minister. How long you been in ministry now?
Since 2010.
2010.
Well, actually, I guess my first sermon was in January of 2011. So
Yeah.
right going from 2010 into 2011.
Yeah, and that was I happened to be there. You invited me for your first sermon, and let me tell you, Houston, Texas, this man is truly God spoke to him that day, and has been working. I've seen him. He's not a man of talk. I'm gonna give you accolades. The truth. He's a man of action, and I like that. He walks the walk. He walks the talk. He just don't talk it. I'm seeing what he. You might say he's real conservative, but when it comes down to helping God's children, he's the man. I remember one time there was a homeless, somebody that was homeless, that the house caught on fire and they needed beds, and I just happened to call him and ask him did he know anybody. Next thing I know, you were Johnny on the spot with several beds, loading them up in your truck and delivering to those people. I said, this is just amazing. I mean, anytime that I know that somebody's in stress or something, I always call you, And you just, you're about, not about pay, you're about what they at, what's the address, and you're just down. And I know you're busy, I do, but you never, if it's about helping God's children, you the man. You really are.
Well, the thing is, like I said, people in distress. Now, I would say yesterday, I'm a busy person. Like I say, I have several different businesses, business endeavors that I'm into. And yesterday, I happened to be cutting grass, okay, at an apartment complex that I also do the maintenance for. And I'm trying to beat the clock. So I'm on my zero turn, and I'm one of my other guys had gotten a little fortunate in some property that he have up in East Texas, and so I lost him to some endeavor that he had. So I'm running the lawnmowers by myself. It is about 5 acres of property that have about 58 buildings on it. So I'm doing it yesterday. I think we got started late, maybe almost 3 o'clock. But I'm thinking because the day and the time has changed, so I got about 4 hours or so before it starts getting dark. So I had my zero turn, and we're just working. I'm just going from one area to another area, and then one of my workers, he was weed eating, and I saw a guy walk up to him outside the gate, and I kind of looked, but I'm still moving around on the lawnmower, cutting grass, okay. And I see him, and then all of a sudden my helper, he walks up to me and he stops me, okay? I'm like, okay, what do he want? And he says, Mr. T, this guy needs a jump. His car broke down, he needs a jump. I said, his name is Marcus. I said, Marcus, I'm working here. We working here, okay? I'm trying to beat the clock. We don't have time to just stop, okay? So I just kept going. Well, I say, tell the guy, you can't help him right now. So, Marcus went over there, told the guy. Then I see the guy walking from door to door within the apartment complex, asking people, I guess, for a jump.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I was like, at this point, okay, for something I can't remember, I know what it was. I was getting ready to move to another area. And I had my truck and my trailer parked where I was. Okay, so I'm going to move to another area, and like I say, it's not the best place to be leaving your vehicles. So I say, since I'm moving to another area, let me move my trailer and truck over there. So I stopped to do that, and I see this guy, a young guy, fairly young guy, and he starts walking towards me, personally, okay? And he says, I think it was a Hispanic guy, and he says, do you have a battery? I said, a battery? I said, what are you trying to do? He said, my car stopped, and I need a battery for my car. I said, what kind of battery you need for your car?
Yeah.
Okay, your car stopped. What? I said, do you need a jump? He said, no, I need a battery. I said, what kind of battery? He said, DeWalt battery. I said, a DeWalt battery. He said, like a drill battery. I said, a drill battery? Your car stopped, but you need a drill battery? That was because I didn't understand the dynamics behind being a DeWalt type battery. The DeWalts have access to a positive and a negative pulse.
Mm.
Therefore, with that positive and negative pulse, if you touch the wires to those positive and negative pulse, you can jump your car.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Okay, I'm thinking just regular cables.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, since I had stopped, okay, I wasn't working at that point. Okay, I say I stopped. Okay, and he just happened to be walking back towards me. So okay, all right. I'm in a mode. I'm much in a more receptive mode.
Right.
Okay, because things have been kind of put in place. Tony, you had to stop. You had to move your vehicle. So now I'm listening. I'm perceptive now. I say, let me help this guy. I'm not doing nothing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me help him. Okay, I could have blew him off. I could have still ignored him, but something inside says, stop.
Yeah.
You can help him.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to what he has to say. First of all, that's what I think. Communication is the key with all situations. If you don't stop and listen, if you don't stop and listen,
Yeah.
you don't know what you can or can't do. Plus, you don't know what the situation is. I'm looking at it from one perspective. Maybe he's going to bring another perspective that I need to look at it from. Okay, so I stop. I listen to it. So at that point, I have another guy working in that same complex. And I call him. His name is Edgar. I said, Edgar, where are you in the complex? He said, I'm over here in this apartment. So I said, Edgar, come over here. So he came around. He's an Hispanic guy too. And I said, Edgar, this guy said he need a DeWalt battery. I don't use DeWalts, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, can you use just a regular jump? And he says, yes. So my guy is talking to him, and they talking Spanish, okay? And so there's no misunderstandings. If we're trying to talk English and Spanish, sometimes there's a breakdown in the communication, okay?
Right.
But if you can get someone who can talk your language, another sign of communication. We gotta be able to talk the language. You gotta know who you're talking to and how they communicate.
Yeah.
So I understood at that point, Edgar could talk better, communicate better with him than I could, and get a better understanding of what his need was. So at that point, I said, Edgar, can you help him? He said, yeah, boss, I can help him. I said, well, okay, take the vehicle, got some jumper cables, go help the guy. And Edgar went and helped the guy, and I guess he went on by his merry way, okay?
Wow.
But like I say, it's sometimes you have to stop, and sometimes God will stop you.
Come on.
God will stop
Yes,
you.
sir.
We think we are the captain of our ship. We think we run everything. We think a lot of times we dictate how things happen, but it's not us. It's not about us. It's all about God. God would say, okay, you were busy, you had this to do, you had this to do, you had this to go. Okay, but I'm going to show you, I got something I need you to do. Okay, I need you to stop and take time out for me. Okay, to do something that I would want you to do. I want you to help this person. Because I don't know what happened. I don't know, emergency could have come up with this guy. He had to be somewhere.
Right.
I didn't know this,
Right,
okay?
right.
But because I don't know this don't mean I can't help, okay? And if I'm trying to put up this wall to say I'm too busy, God can stop you. Okay?
That's
You're
true.
never too busy for God to stop you.
Come on, man.
Okay?
That's
He will
right.
stop you in your tracks,
True
okay?
that, true that.
And make you back up, okay?
Okay, that's great, awesome. Now what I do want to ask you some questions. I know that when you came in ministry in 2010, right? Since your walk with God, what has been, in your experience, the most most difficulties you've had in being in ministry? What have you discovered walking with the Lord, doing His will, and what kind of oppositions have you come against? Have you, just share with the people, just what adversities have you been through as a man of God?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell a lot of people. I think I know. I probably repeat this probably several times a week. The only problem I have is other people's problems. Okay, because I have been so blessed.
Come on, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I don't have problems from my perspective. Everything is a matter of perspective, okay? If you see something as being insurmountable, okay, then it is insurmountable.
Okay.
But if you see something as merely an issue to be resolved, then it's an issue to be resolved. It can be taken care of, and I can deal with that, okay?
Yeah.
So, as I said, I don't have, my life has been, I mean, the closest thing I can say to perfect. Okay, the closest thing to if I had a concept of what perfect is, okay, my life is perfect. Okay, even though we know nothing is perfect.
Right.
Okay, there are some rainy days.
Yeah.
Okay, there are some cloudy days, but there's always the sunshine days too. Okay, there is the morning that comes after the night. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so from a minister's perspective, I guess my biggest, I won't say it's an obstacle, but observation is how so many people go to church on Sunday,
Okay.
okay, but they profess to have all these problems Monday through Saturday. They have these problems.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, where do you have these problems? Why do you think you have these problems? Okay, and it's a matter of perception. Okay, I don't have problems. I have issues to be resolved. I don't have a problem. I have an issue to be resolved.
Oh,
Okay?
I like that.
And if you go to church and you say, I believe in God, okay,
Come on.
and God is all powerful, okay.
Wow.
Okay, but is that all powerful only on Sunday when you're sitting there in church? Okay, what happens Monday through Saturday when you get the bill, the pink slip that says, you're late? And not only are you late, but there's a late penalty and there's a disconnect situation coming on. Where's your faith then? Okay,
Yeah.
not just in the church on Sunday. So my thing is, if you're there, then be there Monday through Sunday.
Come on.
Okay, if you believe in God Monday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, don't come to me when I have people all the time, and I have phone calls, and people call and ask me, say, Tony, I got this going on, so on and so forth. So, can you, like, give me a loan? I say, loan? I say, do I look like, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, somebody like that? I say, where is your faith? I know where mine is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I say, that's why I'm not coming to you looking for a loan, because my faith says that if I do what I'm supposed to do based on what the Bible tells me, which is pay my tithes and offering, okay, God will provide everything I need.
Okay.
Okay. And so far, that has been the case.
Yeah.
I remember I have an uncle, and he died, I don't know, a few years back. And he and I would talk from time to time when I was in the military. And he told me a story. He belonged to this church over there off of Langley Road. Can't remember the church right off the top of my head. And he said, he's the deacon. He was a deacon at this church. And the pastor says, Brother Malone, he says, you one of my best deacons, but I notice when you pay your tithes, you don't pay 10% of what your income is, okay, or what you made. And my uncle said, well, I got rent houses, I got children, I got bills, and by the time I pay all my bills and all my expenses, I don't hardly have money left to pay my tithes, okay?
Yeah.
And he said, the pastor told him, he said, I tell you what, brother Malone, I want you to test God. I want you to test God. See, that's the thing. People don't try God. Try God, okay? God will fool and improve you,
Come on.
okay?
Yes,
Fool
sir.
and improve you.
I love
okay? The thing is, he said, test God. He said, tell you what, I'm going to tell you what Deacon Malone says. You pay your tithes. You start paying your tithes. And the first time that you can't pay your monetary obligations, to pay your mortgage, to pay your car note, to keep your lights on, the first time that you can't do that, I won't ever say anything to you again about paying tithes.
That's
And
strong.
my uncle said, okay, I'm going to do that. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
test God. And that's why I tell people, every day we get up and wake up, it's a test.
Yes, sir.
It's a test. It's a test of our faith and what we believe in, okay?
Yeah.
That when trouble comes up, what we gonna do, okay? So at that point, so my uncle said, I said, okay, I'm gonna try it. And my uncle said, from that point on, and it's been a couple of years by this time he talking to me, he says, whenever I paid my tithes and my offering, he said, something would always come up at the job. I'd either get some overtime or I get a bonus or I get promotions or something like that. But the money was always there. I paid all my bills. I met all my monetary obligations from that day forth because I tested God.
Yeah.
And I found God to be true.
Right.
I found his word to be true, that he will provide. If I just do what he asked me to do, give him his 10%, then, hey, because I look at it from this perspective, I tell people all the time, when they have that question comes about paying tithes and offering, I say, okay, God lets you make $1.
Yes, sir.
He lets you make $1. All he asks of that dollar
It's a 10.
is 10 cents of that dollar. Now, that could easily be reversed. Okay, if you don't believe what you're saying, if you don't believe what you're hearing when you go to church every day, you don't pay your tithes like you're supposed. God can say, "Hey, I asked you to test me. I'm finna test you."
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. You've been getting to keep that 90%, but you ain't doing what you're supposed to do with that dime I asked you to do with. So let me reverse that. Let me give you the dime. And let me keep the 90%.
Right.
Okay, see how much you can get done with that. Okay, so I don't want to be put in that situation, Lamont. Okay, I'm used to living off that 90%. Okay,
Okay.
it actually is 90% plus.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, 90% plus.
I got
Okay,
you. That's good. Look here. That I've known you to be married. How long you been married now?
too long.
No. Because my ministry is in relationships, marriage. So, you've been married, what, 30 years or 35?
We got married in 1986.
Wow, how many years is that? Because if your wife was here, she could tell you exactly how
That's
many
38 years. No, she couldn't tell you.
She
nothing.
could.
She don't even remember when her birthday was.
Well, she's gonna be listening to this, so leave that
Okay,
alone.
okay.
So we'll try to keep
She
you
don't
guys
even know my
together.
birthday.
We try to keep y'all together. But this is what I ask you: 38 years of marriage. I want to know, and the audience wants to know. Share what's the secret? I mean, because we got, Paul even talked about the ex-apostle Paul. They said, "What do you think about marriage?" He say, because Paul wasn't married. He say, "The times are coming where marriages are going to be very difficult. I wish y'all would be like me. He was single." He said, "But it's better to marry than to burn with desire."
Mm-hmm.
So we see these times now. We had a 60% divorce rate. You managed to be with this woman for 38 years. She's managed to be with you for 38. I would love for you to share with us what's the secret. If there's a secret, we'd like to know.
Well, I was asked this question a couple of months ago, maybe, if it's been that long. And you've been to my house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we bought this house 10 years ago. Actually, 10 years ago, April tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think we moved in like April the 14th. We've been in this house 10 years. Okay. And so when I was asked that question about what's the secret to staying married. I told whoever it was I was talking to at the time, and I tell anyone now, 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms?
2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay, you have to have your bathroom. She's got to have her bathroom. Because, see, when we built this house, we had this house, we went out, and this house is close to, well, I added on something to it. But before I added to it, this house was close to 3,000 square feet.
Right,
okay.
right.
Okay. It had 3 bathrooms. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
4 bedrooms. Okay. Okay. So the thing was, even though that was the size of the house, the bathroom in the master bedroom area probably took up almost a third of the house. The bathroom and the closet. And the bedroom and the den, because there's a little den for that particular little area of the house. I said, but what happened was, we saw that little den, and my wife says, I have too many clothes for this room, for this closet.
Right.
And you and I won't have enough room. So what we'll do is we'll take the little den, make it into a closet. So when we were designing it, because the people let us make alterations to the plans. And I said, instead of making this a little den, make this into her closet.
Yes.
Okay. And it was, that little office, it's probably about as big as this room here right here, okay?
Right.
And this was gonna be a nice big size closet, right? So, but when they got the house delivered and they made the alteration, she says, now I want to make it the office, okay, instead of a bedroom, instead of a closet.
Right.
So I need this closet here. And I looked at the closet. I said, there's not enough room for us, for me, you, and your clothes. There's not enough room. So at this point, I said, okay, you have this closet all to yourself. Not only do you have this closet to yourself, you have this bathroom all to yourself. The bathroom comes with a shower and a jacuzzi tub. You have it all to yourself. It's got 2 sinks. My wife has that whole space taken up. Okay? There's no way I wouldn't have room for a stick of deodorant in that bathroom, okay? So, but because there are 2 other bathrooms, okay? And there's the other half, 60% of the house, I kind of take up that space over there. Okay. So, but otherwise, that was the joking part of
2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms. Okay.
That's the key to marriage, y'all. Minister Spurling said you gotta have 2 bathrooms.
It may not be the total key, but it definitely helps. Okay? It definitely helps. I'm telling you, because I don't know if you remember that show with Al Bundy, and he had the what do you call his throne room? The bathroom was his throne room. Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we gotta steal away to the throne room. Okay. And sometimes we don't want to come out, okay? Yeah. But if you gotta share the throne room with somebody else, it can create some airs of animosity from time to time. Will you please hurry up? Somebody else needs to. I'm gonna tell you this. Even though people can be together for over half their lives, there is still some degree of modesty that people have about being in the bathroom with somebody else.
Right.
Even though you've been married, even though you've seen everything there is to see, okay. There is some modesty that the people want to maintain. So 2 bathrooms definitely help. The other key is you got to communicate.
Okay.
So everything comes back to communication. Okay. Staying together all the time and understanding, like you and I spoke once before, that you cannot take a person, a grown person, because most of the time these days when people get married, they're not getting married at 16, 17, 18, 21. A lot of people getting married in their mid-20s, okay, or in their 30s. Therefore, these people have already developed an idea or a concept of who they are and what they want and where they want to go and what kind of person and what kind of character they have. Therefore, when you marry this person, that's why it is so important to communicate and to get to know somebody. Honesty is just the key. People don't have enough honesty with that. The fact that if you start dating somebody and you have your preconceived ideas of what this person is that you want, okay? I remember when I was younger, I wanted a woman that was like 5'10", okay, 36, 24, 36, at 5'10", okay? Okay, a brick house with long hair and everything like that. Like, what's that, Vivica Fox?
Oh, come on, man.
Okay. But as you get older, you find out that and realize that some of those things, those physical things, aren't as important as the mental and emotional things, okay? Because all that physical stuff will change. It will change, okay? And the 36, 24, 36 will become a 38, 45, whatever, okay? And so you can't say, okay, you're not the person that I married, okay? So we have to go our separate ways. You're not maintaining your part of the contract. That's either, you have what they defaulted.
Oh, come on,
Okay, you
man.
have defaulted in the original contract that we had. Okay, you're not that person that you were at that time. So you have to go beyond that point and say, okay, it's all about what's upstairs. You know, I always, regardless of whatever female I used to deal with back in the day, she had to be smart.
Yeah.
Had to be smart, okay? Don't men don't mess with no dumb women.
Oh,
Okay?
man.
Don't mess with no dumb women will get you in trouble quicker. Okay, then spitting in the law face. Okay, dumb women will make you spit. Dumb women will make you spit in the law face, and then walk away from you after you getting your butt beat on the street. Okay,
That's good, man.
so
Don't mess with dumb women, Houston.
don't mess with dumb
All
women.
right, we're broadcasting live in Houston, but it goes all over the world. But but don't mess with dumb women, United States, USA. That's a good
Yeah, but like I say, the thing is, we communicate. You gotta communicate, and you got to realize that this person's a grown person.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with. I hope this person is grown. I'm dealing with a grown person who has already set some goals, hopefully some goals, some dreams, some desires, some aspirations in life about what they want to be and which direction to go.
Right.
Okay, so when you meet this person, if your ideas and concepts don't coincide close enough,
Yeah.
then you have to be either man enough or woman enough to say, hey, it's been fun. I see that, you know, we could kick it every now and then, you know, from time to time, but we can't be on you're not the one to go forward with me at this point in time, because our aspirations and our directions are too far apart.
Right.
The differences are too, but see, people don't tell the truth in the beginning. People aren't honest in the beginning, okay?
Yeah.
All they looking at the physicality.
Yeah.
Okay, how soon can I get from first base to home base? Okay.
I said home plate, you said base.
Home base, okay?
Yeah,
because and so whatever lie I got to tell, okay? Whatever lie I got to endure in order to get the home home plate, that's what I'm gonna do. But the thing is, eventually, it all runs its course.
Yeah.
It all runs its course, and then the reality of things start coming out, saying, "This isn't what I thought I could deal with this, but I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't deal." Now you done wasted so much of your time, and this other person's time, trying to make a square peg fit into a round hole that was never meant to be to begin with.
Right.
So that's why you come out in the beginning and say, "Hey, this is what I'm looking for. Do you think you can fit this? Do you think this is you?" And then, but see, it goes both ways. Both ways. I told my wife once, I was listening to I'm coming from Kansas. I was in the military, and I'm driving down the road from Kansas to Texas, a long drive. Okay, and I heard this radio show, and on this radio show, it was about relationships. And the host of the show says what she had told people in the audience is, when you with your person, your significant other, whatever, if y'all not totally on the same page, or even from time to time, you may ask to say, okay, this is what, write down 10 things that you want them to change, or you think you would like for them to do a little differently, okay?
Yeah.
And this is what you want, okay? And then you tell that person to write down 10 things also that person would like to see different in you or change in you.
I like that.
Okay. And the first time me and my wife did that, well, my wife threw the paper out the door, out the window. We was sitting in my truck. She threw the paper out the window, said, "I'm not doing this." Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well, shortly thereafter, we got divorced. we got divorced. Okay.
I think I remember that.
Okay. We stayed divorced for about 6 months.
Yeah, it was like 6 months. It was under the year.
Yeah, 6 months.
And I was part of that.
Yeah, you was
I
around.
I'm your witness.
Yeah, you was around.
So he's telling the truth, y'all. They did.
And she came back. Okay, she saw the errors of her ways. Okay, she came back, and I, of course, was being the humble husband or ex-husband at the time, and the person. Okay, we can start this over again. We're gonna start this again from the top. Okay, from the top. And since then, she has been totally amazing. Totally amazing.
I can believe that.
I mean, before then, I could count the times my wife said I was sorry. Okay, on her, she apologized and said she was sorry about anything on one finger. Okay, I could count the times that my wife bought me anything on one hand. Okay.
Yeah.
But after we got back together, okay.
She bought you a truck. I saw the truck.
Hey. Okay. So after it was like, I don't know. I don't know. At that point, she became less focused on herself and became more focused on me. And that's what I always say about relationships and marriages. If we're together and we love each other and I got your back and you got my back, I don't have to watch my back because I know you got my back.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to watch your back because I got your back.
That's
okay.
True. That's true, man.
So if I see you slip, I'm gonna reach back and pick you up. If you see me stumbling, you gonna catch me.
Right.
Okay. So as long as we don't have to focus on ourselves, because we know we got somebody back there who got our back, we can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like that.
And that's why we are where we are right now. Okay. That's why my wife has become a mega success in her business endeavors. Okay.
Yes, she is.
It's just amazing that when you come together, you keep God in the forefront.
In the front.
In the forefront. Like I said, going back to my uncle, the thing is, in that story, people always talking about, I paid this, I paid this, paid this. That's the wrong order. You started off the situation wrong to begin with. You don't pay this. You pay God. You give God His first in the beginning. That way you give Him His first, He will make sure you got enough to cover everything else. Okay. You give God your best. Okay.
Wow.
And He will take that and multiply everything that you have. To the point, I'm not saying every day is gonna be roses.
Yeah.
There won't be some, as I say, rainy days or some stormy days or whatever the situation. But when the sun shines, okay, it's on and popping when the sun shines, okay, because there's no stopping you.
Wow.
Okay, because you can appreciate every day is not gonna be sunny. Okay, so when I have a sunny day, I'm taking full advantage of it. That's why I work from the time the sun come up to the sun go down.
Right,
okay, because I'm getting it all because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Okay, and I tell my wife that all the time. I say, we have to work like there is no tomorrow. I have to work like you may not be here tomorrow.
Wow.
You have to take care of yourself from day to day and work like I may not be here tomorrow because one day we're going to wake up and one of us won't be here.
Yeah.
And at that point, the other person just can't stick their head in a hole in the ground and just throw up their hands and say, I give up. I can't make it. I can't go no further than this. No, because you have to have set things in motion. You have to have a mindset to say, it don't stop. Yes, I will miss him. Yes, I will miss her. But life goes on.
Yes,
okay?
It does.
Life goes on, and we just have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. And like I say, Lamont, I've been so blessed and so fortunate that, sometimes I go to my like I say, we got a big house. Sometimes I come in the door at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my wife is already in the bed. Okay? She done her little thing. She done made her little speeches. She did her little presentations. She talks to her people and does whatever. She's got everything moving. By 3 o'clock, she got these banker hours, okay? She in the bed, okay? I'm still cranking it out till the sun go down. But when I come in, I go to my side of the house. You know the deal. You know my house.
I'll tell you about
okay?
that. Let me tell them about that in a minute.
And so the thing is, I go in every night before I lay down either on my sofa or before I go to bed. But sometimes I fall asleep and I wake up and I go into the bedroom and go check on her. She sleeps like this, Lamont, okay?
Like angel.
A little princess sleep thing, okay? I've taken pictures of her like that, okay? But she sleeps like there's not a problem in the world,
Yeah.
not a care in the world,
Right.
okay? And that's all because God has put us in a position, okay? All you got to do is do what He tells you to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being obedient.
I like to say, you can. We ain't perfect. We are alone. We are far from being perfect. Far from being perfect. But the thing is, when you stumble, get back up.
Yeah.
See, what he said, I say, we fall down, but we get back
Get
up.
back up.
Okay, that's the point. You to get back up. Don't fall down and stay down. Don't fall down and blame somebody else. Okay.
Right.
Don't fall down and say, "Woe is me." Okay. Why people won't give me this? Why people won't give me that? Because if you fell down and you're not a paraplegic, you got two arms, two legs, two eyes, and so on, you can get yourself back up. Get yourself back up. Believe in what you believe, but you better start with God. Okay, if you believe with God, hey, sometimes we fall. Sometimes we got to take a step back.
Yeah.
God will test us. God will put us in a position where we have to take a step back in order to move two steps forward.
Right.
But when you take that one step back, don't fall apart. Don't come to the conclusion that this is the end. The world is going to end, and I just can't take it anymore. I can't go forward. No, this is a test. Every day is a test, Lamar.
Right.
What do you believe in?
Yeah.
Where is your faith, Lamar?
Yeah, you're right. And piggybacking back to the way he said he went on his side of the house. The way that got it designed, she has one side, he has one side. He has his own place like an apartment. She has her room like apartment. So sometimes she comes spend the night in his apartment. Sometimes he comes spend the night in her apartment. It's amazing. And I think sometimes being married, we get too common with one another. But when you do it like that, I love that. Because it's like you don't really get that common, until you get ready to make love to your husband or wife. It's good. Y'all come together. Which we're going to spend the night. They might spend the night in his apartment tonight. Might spend the night. I like that because I think when you're dating, that's the fun of dating. Get to spend the night with your guy. You can spend the night with your girl. And that's the way y'all do it. And I think y'all given a fresh perspective on marriage. I love the way y'all marriage operates. I've always said, knowing your wife, I knew him way before his wife, but I knew his wife and didn't know it was his wife. That's just strange. But I can truly say that you have a great wife. I mean, she's a very caring person. Now, the thing about his wife is this: people wouldn't know it. He knows her better than me. Of course, he knows the side of her I don't know. But the projection I get from her, awesome. She's a humanitarian. She truly loves people. And she's willing to help, too. Now, she's a little bit more, he's more of the level-headed person. She's a little emotional sometimes. She get emotional. You got to kind of level her out. But one thing about her, once she thinks about it and you interact, it might take her a minute, but she'll do the right thing. But sometimes she get a little emotional, a little headstrong. But she's a good woman. You did good. You chose well. You did. That's a good wife. They say she's a good friend of mine too. So I know she's probably listening. We love you, Cynthia.
Well, you helped, steer me back in that direction, when we had our little issue.
Yeah, and that issue, me and you we're closer than most. I mean, but at the end of the day, that situation made the marriage better. I tell people all the time, y'all always looking at the bad, the negative. In every negative situation, that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at, that's a divorce. Oh my God. But look what that divorce brought. A positive relationship for the future. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know that story. Only very few. And you said it, but I would have never thought you told anybody. I thought I was the only one who knew.
No, because as I said, sometimes you got to take a step back in order to move forward.
Yeah.
And from that point on, like I said, she became she came to me and said, "Hey, I want to open up a group home." Okay. Well, actually, we bought a house. We bought a house, and the story behind that, she's an outstanding, amazing business person. But I trained her well. Okay, I trained her well. As I said, to the realization, we don't know when we're gonna leave here. Okay, so I've had too many situations. Even that same uncle that I talked about with the tides and things, he died, And when he died, because he handled everything, Lamont, he took care of from the morning to the night. He took care of everything. Bill from one end of the house to the other end of the house. He paid everything. His wife knew literally nothing about how a house functions other than how to cook.
Yeah.
And sometimes she, but anyway, I ain't gonna talk about her, my aunt cooking, okay? She was younger then, okay?
Right.
But anyway, the thing was, when he passed, they didn't even have the combination to his safe, okay? So there was papers in the safe that they needed to get as far as the services and what arrangements he had made. But then she literally knew nothing, not how to pay bills, not how to do anything, okay? And so I learned from that. I say, make sure that my wife understands and knows how to function without me, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, about me, I have a book that lays on my desk 24/7 right now. You go up to my office, and it lists out every bill that there is.
Yeah.
And every bill that's paid as is paid, okay? So my wife won't be lost. She won't be in the dark, okay, about that situation, okay?
Yeah, you're very organized.
Well, as I said, I try to be organized, okay?
You think that has to do with the military background?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, I think back sometime. I said, before I was in the military, my mom was the same way.
Okay.
My mom, I mean, the military had nothing on my mom. I mean, when you can get preteens, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds to have drawers. My drawers were set up. There's a drawer for socks. There's a drawer for underwear.
Wow.
There's a drawer for whatever else, pants and shirts. But everything was folded. Okay, it wasn't just thrown in there like it is now.
Right.
Okay, back then, because I had no choice. But excuse me, the socks were folded, and they would turn. They had to put them together and rolled up in there.
Yeah.
And, okay, and my mother, she would come in and inspect my drawer, our drawer, my sister, my drawer, and if it wasn't right, she pulled the whole drawer out, dump it on the bed, and then tell me to put it back together.
Wow.
Okay, because it wasn't right. And so when I went to the military, I'm like, what is this? I done been through this
You
before.
put the boot camp before.
I said, what is this? And then, by then also, like I said, when I joined the military, I was 23 years old. I already, I'd spent, actually, I've been in ROTC for 4 years at Forest Brook at the high school, and then I was in there for 2 years at the University of Houston. So I'm like, my mind is already kind of militarily geared, okay? So when I got there, and like I said, when I joined, I was 23 years old when I went into basic training.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I haven't been there, done it. I'm not some 18-year-old who have no clue, who been taking care of my mommy all this time, okay? I know the deal. And I know what I can do, what I can't do, okay? And I like, you can yell at me and scream, and the thing is, hell, my drill sergeant was only like a year or two older than me anyway, okay? So I'm just as old as these dudes, okay? It's a mental thing. So I say, drop me down, you wanna do push-ups? Okay, I'm gonna do push-ups till I can't do no more push-ups. And then that's it, I'm gonna lay on the ground, okay? I don't care how much he scream, how much he jump up and down, how cuss me out or whatever. I'm just gonna lay down on the ground, okay? Because I have reached my limit.
Right.
I have reached my limit. So couldn't play the mind game on me. But like I said, yeah, I'm structured. I tried, everything has a place.
Yeah.
I'm still working on my wife on that point. I'm still working on, but like I say, you have to learn to, being together this long, you learn the person, you learn that you can't change the core of the person that was there when you met them, okay? This was a grown person. Matter of fact, when my wife, she had been married once, I had been married once, okay? And this is before we all turned 25. We had both been married and with children, okay? So at that point, I knew I couldn't change her, and let me rephrase that. I didn't know then I couldn't change her.
You thought you could.
I thought I could in the beginning, okay? But over the past 38 years, okay, somewhere in the middle, I learned, hey, I just got to accept her for who she is.
Thank you.
I got to accept her for who she is.
Who she is.
And sometimes
And love her.
And love her. And we will meet a common ground. Then we have common grounds, okay? We come together and it works, okay? Or we learn to say, well, that's just sin. Okay,
that's just sin.
That's just sin.
Yeah.
Or she says that's just Tony. Okay?
Yeah, she says that too.
Okay.
Y'all both do that.
and we like, okay, woosah, do that woosah thing, woosah, okay, and walk away.
Okay. We got 5 more minutes forever, right? We'll be checking out of here, but I want to get to ask the minister before we get out of here. Is there any last thing you want to close out with? Because we got 5 minutes producers are pointing at me and saying, hey, you guys are getting to the closing time. So would you share with the audience anything that you like to close out with, to leave them with something to stay on their mind? That was great information about a successful marriage, and that you see it has its ups and downs. But what he's saying is he loves her for who she is. Don't try to change people. It's not about change. It's about adapting who you with. No changes. It's about adapting. You can't make people change. So is there anything you like to close out with?
One quick note. I asked you when you told me about coming to church today, I asked you what color were you wearing? And you said black. I'm wearing black. And I thought, I'm going to wear black too. Okay?
You sure did.
But then when I got up this morning and I started thinking about church and this is Easter and everything, and I said, I'm not going to wear black today because I'm going to wear green. And in my mind, my green suit popped up. And I said, okay, I'm going to wear green. Because green for today represents new life.
Oh, I love
okay?
it. That's
the
right.
fact today is Easter. This is the resurrection day of Jesus.
Yes.
Okay? The new life, the new beginning, a start over, a fresh slate.
Fresh slate.
Okay? For us, every man, woman, boy, and child in this world, we have a fresh slate because of Jesus' sacrifice and his death for today, okay? Yeah. So I wanted to wear green, which is represented, from my perspective, life, new